Hello, everybody, and welcome to Beesmas Gaming. And right now, I'm in a zoning out type of mood because if you haven't heard already, Beesmas is not going to happen this week. And what I mean by this week, I mean the first week of January. So what we were promised obviously isn't going to happen. And in my belief, Onnett knew it. Onnett knew it. Onnett knew he was going to spend time with family. Onnett knew that he was going to visit with his sister. That's the reason why we're not getting it, is because he sent out a tweet. I'm not going to read it. You can read it for yourself. But it basically says his sister is visiting. She's from out of state. He'll extend the time if extra time is needed. When she's gone, he'll get back into testing. So basically, with his sister visiting him, he's not going to do anything for Beeswarm. That said, I can understand why you wouldn't want to work and be with family. All right, fine, whatever. I don't know, okay, that's just what it sounds like in my head. You know, like, it's like, come on, man, like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? Why didn't you tell us this before I spent money on the 4 packs? Why didn't you put and say, hey, um, you know, you get to play this part one, which, oh, let me tell you, is kind of crappy. You know, no one out there really wants to say it, but part one is crappy because it's not really that challenging. But it being my first Beesmas and everything, I was excited. Okay, so we have these noises going off, like blah 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 blah, blah excuses, blah 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 blah, family, blah 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 blah. Blah. I'll have everything out the week after Christmas, blah blah blah. Oh wait, my sister's from out of state. Somehow being out of state makes it sound like it's more urgent, right? But then what really gets me is that he's talking about like testing. Like, is that the extent of the transparency that we get? And that's just on top of like the nerfing things and all this other stuff. And it's like on it. I have never had anybody that I don't even know like actually try to make me not like them. You are trying to make me not like you. And I'm holding on to the fact that I've invested so much time, money, and what they call sweat equity into this game. If you don't know what that means, look it up. And you're like literally making me not like you with all this stuff. See, what people have to understand is that when it comes to games like this, when it comes to life, you have personal and professional. You don't mix the two. Okay? And that's what I believe like in video games, right? Developers should not put in their personal life and say, well, this is what's going on, so you have to understand. And that's the reason why. Trust me, if I would not expect anybody to excuse me from me not delivering something that I promised. Like, how many of you would be mad if I promised everybody, every subscriber, let's say $10 worth of Robux, right? I said, all right, I'll give you $5 in this one week, and then because of how my Wi-Fi works, I can give it to you next week. And then the next week comes up and I'm like, oh wait, my sister's in town. The Wi-Fi is going to be tied up and everything. I can't do it. I'll give it to you. But I'm like waiting till almost like the last minute to tell you this stuff. That's what he's doing. It's like Onnett is like making me, pushing me away from this game. You know what? I'm kind of at the point where I'm saying like, you know what? Maybe, just like some other games that I've played, I've reached the pinnacle of Bee Swarm. You know, my next beehive cost more than I've wanted to grind out. Today, I've equaled out all my bees to level 15. I've got all the end game stuff. Doesn't look like I'll be able to play part 2 till next week. So I'm gonna be putting my main account to the side until I don't know. I mean, truthfully, guys, I'm still gonna make my videos, but they're all gonna be like real talk. I got no hatred toward anything and anybody in Bee Swarm, but I'm telling you, Onnett is pushing me, and I believe pushing people away. I believe Onnett, for whatever reason, is crumbling this game like a piece of paper, and it does not sound like he even has part 2 ready for us. Okay? Just by his wording. Just by his wording. She leaves this weekend, so after that, I'll be able to get back into testing. Get back into testing. What? What? Maybe that's a developer's way of saying, you have to test things before you have to put them in. I don't know, but to me, but just to a person reading that, it sounds like it's not even done. See, what I thought is that you had things done and he was just waiting for the time with his family to be done with, and then he was going to load it up. Look, people, I'm still going to honor my word, and I'm going to do things the right way, but it's just crazy. This has just literally gone crazy. Just with this Beesmas alone, I have seen some changes with the personnel in this game, with the players, with my friends who play in this game. It's almost like the maturity has just gone a different way, It's almost like that movie Mean Girls, where they felt entitled to stuff. It's almost like the developers of this game and the administrators of this game feel entitled that they can do whatever they want. And I think we need to stand up and say, you know what? The Bee Swarm world is not controlled and populated by the bears. It's populated by the people, the players, who get a hive, who get the bees. And if there's a lot of bees, and the bees have high levels, it means that that player has been there like a while. Onnett, developers, you don't want to lose hives like this, or a hive like this, or a hive like this. You don't want to. These are some nice hives, man. You don't want to lose them. You keep pulling the crap that you are, though, and you will. I guarantee you, you will lose hives. I see your numbers, how many people, they're going to drop.